everybody. Welcome to today's edition of the Daily Market Commentary. It is the 7th of December. I am your host, Chuck Fulkerson. Hope everybody had an absolutely amazing trading day and things are going well. For those of you that are new to the channel, welcome. Glad you're able to navigate your way and make it here. We look at the same 10 to 12 futures markets every day. Identifying opportunities that have, kind of reviewing what's happened and really looking at what may happen in the future, right? Doing a little fortune telling as it is. No, but the most important thing is when we make when we talk about a level or an area or a potential trade, we leave the lines on the chart, and we leave the lines on the chart so that you can learn how price reacts to these areas over a given period of time. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Very quickly, starting with the S&P. Now, the reason I say very quickly is because the S&P is bouncing off of our small time frame area. Now, I will tell you, I don't really, I expected us to get a better move out of this small time frame area. We're not getting a great move. Remember, if it's in purple, a purple level is one that we designate as found on the smaller time frames. And so this was found actually on the 15-minute time period because we looked at this little fair price value area. Price did come into here. I didn't like the way we've bounced around. Now, if you look right here, remember, this is a 15-minute time period. So that's really where I expected us to make it down to at least 26.32. So, if you're in this position, you might want to consider taking some money off the table at some point. Obviously, you're going to watch this on a recording, so it's probably a little bit late. But this was, it did not meet my target yet. I'm still holding out hope that it will, but I got to tell you that hope is fading fast. So just for what it's worth. All right. Next one is going forward. I forgot to look at what we may see after that level inevitably fails, because that's what it looks like it might do on us here. So if that level fails, you've got another area up here. I'll be totally blunt. I ain't willing to take it. I don't have the chutzpah to take another short. This only reason I'm taking this short is because that I even put this on my charts is because it is such a small time period. Other than that, I would be leaving this one completely alone. I'm not really trying to short an all-time high in a market. It just doesn't make any sense, right? So there's no reason for me to try to short this. This area up here is tempting, but I'm not going to do it only because I feel like I'm tempting fate. You don't tug on Superman's cape, you don't spit into the wind, and you don't try to short the all-time high, right? All right, so Nasdaq, we still have two areas here. I've got a breakout long above 64.28. None of these reversal potentials really give me or excite me in a way that I would be interested in this. I've got a little area down here, though, that might be worth taking a gander at. Right in here, there's a little bit of sideways price action, which was this area here of resistance where we dropped, we based, and then we went up from there. That has not yet been retested. So that's 62.85 by 62.72. So in that range, you may get a bit of a reversal. The crude oil, we still have our small time frame area identified up here, has not quite returned to that level. So I've got no reason really to add anything new. I thought we might be able to get a little bounce off of this here. We're not able to quite get far enough down into there. So keep an eye on this with 55 area, as I think we could get a little bit of reversal off that 55 area. Gold, we're coming close. We're coming close to a really big area in gold. Now, this is on the daily time period that I found it. I will not be entering on the daily chart level. It's a little bit wider than what I'm comfortable with. But the daily chart level gives me pretty good confidence that this would be a breakout long if we come back up to it, or at the very least, a target on a reversal. So I've got this line here, and it's really this line here of support that we broke through where we had that little wick up before then coming back down. And that tells me that there's some fair value, some fair price area right in here that we could reverse into. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at a few other markets. Looking at the bonds were still chopping in between our major areas. We finally got our breakdown in the Aussie. So those of you that trade the Aussie, we finally got our breakdown in the Aussie. Now, remember, with breakout trading, where would we place our protective stop? Well, let's maximize this sell so we can all see it. So your protective stop goes at the prior pivot high before the breakdown. Well, that's way up here. So that prior pivot high is way up here. You may not be comfortable taking that much risk. Now, if you feel more comfortable, you can move your stop down into this region. Right down into this range is a good opportunity for moving down that protective stop. If you still have some risk in there, but it gives you a bit more wiggle room to play with. The euro, also we have the euro that broke down. It's continuing to fall right through this area. We had our stop loss just above here, moved it down into this region here. If you are willing, you should still be kind of riding this thing down. Eventually, this is our target in the euro. So both the euro and the Aussie are continuing their breakout moves to the downside, and the Canadian didn't quite get there yet. So we're still waiting on the Canadian dollar. Going to Nat Gas, the British pound, and the Japanese yen. So the Great British Pound, that level failed miserably, as we talked yesterday. Now, once again, it was done on a small time frame. So remembering our small time frames are always our lower probabilities. So that one failed miserably as price just rallied straight through here. So we've got to completely remove this area. I'm tempted to highlight this area right in here, but I'm going to leave that be for now. Simply because I've got, by having the euro and the Aussie already in positions, I don't want to have another position set up in the Great British Pound. That's just too many variables and too many currencies that are just floating around out there. The Japanese yen, we are finally coming close to this area again for a potential reversal. If it does reverse, I would look up here as your target, and a stronger move into here would be better to get us a better chance to reverse back to this particular target. We had talked about the reversal in copper and how it kind of fluttered. I got to completely remove this area now, as that one just didn't happen. Not a lot of movement there in that copper area. There's going to be some areas up in here that may be a potential for reversal, but right now I'm going to leave those things be. So I've gotten a couple of requests for ag futures, like things like soybeans, things like that. I'm going to take a look at those probably tonight, tomorrow, and maybe have those on the recording as of next week. So I will, stay tuned. I'll see if I can get those added to. I'll probably replace Nat Gas with one of those. I don't want to go above 12 futures markets because, to be quite frank, I just don't want to keep these videos longer than, I try to keep these videos at 8 to 10 minutes is really the ideal time for me to get them out to you and make sure that they're done. But I will try to add something and replace another one if need be. Or maybe I'll just have a floating one that I look at something different every day for two of them. I haven't made that decision yet. Give me your comments if it's something that you would like to see, or if there's something you'd like to see, please put it in the comment section below. Thank you to those of you that donated to the GoFundMe site that I spoke about on yesterday's video. I really, really appreciate it. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. For those of you that haven't, GoFundMe.com/IIE Financial. Take a look at that. That'll be awesome. And if you've got any questions, shoot me an email, chuck@iiefinancial.com. I will be here to answer your questions as best I can. Thank you so much for joining the channel. I've gotten a lot of great feedback, and your feedback is really what keeps me doing this every day. So appreciate what you guys do. Talk to you soon. Thanks.